Good afternoon, everybody. It's day 34, video log 34, and one more day. Tomorrow will be my last dance lesson before the Chicago Dance Festival competition that is in Rosemont. I can't say I'm very excited about it because it's going to be a bigger competition. It's probably going to be the biggest one so far of all the competitions that I've been to. So obviously there's a lot more people on it, in it. And a couple of days ago I actually went through a little nervous, stressful episode. I won't say a nervous breakdown, but I was quite a bit nervous about it. And you know, sometimes you don't realize how some people that are in your life that you are not even friends with or just know, that can bring you so much stress in your life, right? One of the previous student of my coach, who also happened to be in a relationship with my coach before, that are also going to this competition, but with a different coach now, a different studio. And she has been saying some really hurtful things about my coach for the last several months, ever since the breakup. And in the beginning, I kind of let it go because it didn't bother me as much in the beginning, because I assumed that no, she'll get over it. I can understand the breakup was not easy, and my coach wasn't, he did something that is not very nice or kind of stupid, right? But it wasn't hurtful, but it was, you know, the way he did it was a little bit not so wise, and I can understand why she's upset. However, that this war, this basically bashing has been going on online for several months now, and it hasn't really stopped. And so on Monday I actually saw her commenting about this again, and like basically everything that she sees online, she brings and kind of relates it back to how horrible he was as a dancer. Like, not how horrible he was as a boyfriend, but she would say how horrible he was as a teacher and as a dancer, and I really don't really appreciate that. So I think part of me is because my coach has done so much for me, has accommodated me in so many ways, despite his perkiness and a lot of stuff. Everybody has their, their weird parts, right? So, but he has done a lot for me, and if not for him, I wouldn't be able to go to all these competitions. I wouldn't be able to get to where I am right now at my level in the country dancing. So I really appreciate everything he do. So sometimes, his little quirkiness, I would just overlook, because, I have times like that too. So when I see that he's being bashed online, it makes me feel really, really bad. And then what happens is, because she's going to be at the same competition, I just get very stressed out about it, because I guess I'm taking it personally that, I want to make sure that I want to show her that my coach is not a bad coach, right? That his students can win. Just because she is with a world or master's dancer right now doesn't mean that she's going to be able to win. It's not. So I think that kind of put a lot of stress on me, even though my dance partner has told me many, many times that I am a better dancer than she is, which I know I am, at least for right now. But still, it's still stressful, because I want to prove a point, I kind of want to win, because proving a point by winning. It's just I also know that's not the correct way to come about and approach an event. So that's why on Tuesday and Monday I was a bit stressed out, because especially with so many people, I don't know these people, I don't know these girls who are competing, and so I was kind of in a very not so great place. But thanks, like, you know, I'm so grateful to have my dance partner, because he has consoled me, I think that's the right word, and comforted me, and made me feel a lot better after our talk. So I'm actually feeling a lot better now, even though I'm still nervous about it. Oh my gosh, my throat is so itchy right now, and I really think it's because I ate too much bitter melon, so that had lowered my body heat by too much. So now I have a cough from having too low a body heat. So, but anyways, back to this competition. So I am actually a bit nervous, but I think nerves are good for competitions, because that will make you actually do better and concentrate more. So I will do the best I can. I will make sure I get enough sleep so I don't have my headaches. I think next time I think I'm gonna bring Advil with me, so at least I can take Advil or something if I don't feel well, but I didn't. So yeah, I think I'll be fine. I will make sure I do my best so I can rank higher, and hopefully I can get another win under my belt. Yeah. The other thing I want to talk about is the Silva exercises. I went through the next conditioning this morning on the 3-finger technique, which really just means that when there's situations where we want to be in our alpha state, that we cannot have our eyes closed, right? The 3-finger techniques allow us to access our alpha state without closing our eyes, and can actually bring up our previous conditioning that allow us to make the good decisions, to remember materials better, to take tests better, and things like that. So, and as part of the explanation and the training, Mr. Silva discussed an example where one of his sons was being deployed out to Vietnam, the Vietnam War, and obviously he wants to keep his son safe, because that war, I believe he had many casualties, more than other wars, because it was all on the ground fighting, a lot of guerrilla warfare, and obviously Vietnam, the troops there knew about the terrain a lot better than the American troops, so there were many young lives lost at that war. So he wanted to keep his son safe, but he knows that it doesn't make sense for him to access his ESP or access his alpha state while he have his eyes closed, because he'll be fighting. He needs to hold a gun, or he needs to be aware of the surrounding. So he developed it. He conditioned him using the 3-finger technique, but he modified it a little bit so that he can actually press his little finger to the palm of his hand to access the alpha state while he's holding a gun or fighting, when you're holding a fist. So his son actually went to the war, got deployed to a area of Vietnam that is super dangerous, one of the most dangerous areas, to a point where when you get deployed there, the paperwork that you sign is for a Purple Heart, that they fully expected you, that there's a high chance that you will not return alive. But he did. Mr. Silva's son did return alive, and he mentioned a time where they were out on the road driving, and there was a split road that he was supposed to decide where he needs to be, and he accesses his alpha state, his brain power to decide which side of the road to take. And it just happens that if he had chosen the other side, there was an ambush of like, I guess, underground Vietnamese troops there, then they would have died for sure. So, and not only did Mr. Silva train his son, but he also trained the group of the young men who was actually getting deployed there at the same time, at the same place, and all of them returned safe to to the States. So I am becoming a more and more firm believer of our brain, the power of our brain, that Mr. Silva was able to tap into and train us to use our brain power, the right side of our brain, better, because we are always taught to be logical, because I'm an engineer, so everything I do is supposed to be logical and rational, and we really need to, and we don't fully utilize what we can with our brain power. And anything is possible if we just practice it, right? It's kind of like, so they also mention about our mental brain power, where you see how when we're practicing it, like for example dancing, that sometimes physical, your eyes can deceive you. I actually know somebody who, before a performance or competition, the person will practice over and over again the grouping and the routine just before, but many times it gets this person very, very nervous at the end, and sometimes actually missteps. And as for me, I feel like doing that makes me more nervous, so I actually never do that. I might go over it once or twice, but I like to go over my routine and my moves before the competition in my mind, in my brain. And I feel like it works better. A lot of people feel, they ask, you must practice a lot. The fact that you can actually pick up the stuff that's taught in your lesson so well. But honestly, I don't practice it physically. I do practice it physically a little bit, but most of the time I actually go over the moves in my mind, imagining how I would do it, how I would dance it. So, and it seemed to work very well, because it seems like I can absorb the information better. And maybe actually I'm really like tapping into my alpha state, even without me knowing, or even before I start training in the Silva method. So I think it's very cool. It's very interesting, I'm thinking about maybe I'll do a video where I can give you guys an intro conditioning to the Silva exercises, and if you're interested, you can listen to that video and see, and just for the beginning intro, for getting into alpha state and the relaxation. I think it really helps. Definitely my calf is feeling very good. It gets tired after competition, and I can feel that it's tired, but after relaxation, the strain and the knots goes away. I mean, I think it's still there. It's not perfect, but it's definitely so much better than before. And I have actually probably danced more than normal for the last few months. So yeah, that shows, right? That's the physical proof. So yeah, that's it. I don't have anything else to report. For the next couple of days, we're really focusing on my dancing and figure out what I need to focus on, what I'm going to do in the competition, so I can stop all the competitors and do well, hopefully. So yep, I will talk to you maybe tomorrow after my lesson and see if there's something new that I learned. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Bye.